Aloha e, aloha e, o wa'o nai ole. Nai ole ka waka hiko ke ali I nai ole. Nai ole ke kahu ali a ki kam I hānau I ka pō. O tā meha mea kone noa. O paea ki ka malua. E ola ta inoa o nai ole. E ola ta inoa o tā meha mea. Aloha e. A mama ua noa lele vale ki ka pule o ka lani. May these words be free and fly to heaven. That chant was a storytelling chant of sorts of a man, a chief who cared for the young infant, soon to become the king of Hawaii. And there was a legacy of caring. Here at Nona Lani Cottages, they live up to that legacy. It's about the care for people, as his chief did for the upcoming king. Simple words as ha, H-A in Hawaii, ha. To take from here and go to here. Aloha, Hawaii, mahalo, and of course, ohana. And this is what this family is all about, ohana.
Hanu mai, hanu aku. Hanu mai, hanu aku. Hanu mai, hanu aku.
The history of Nona Lani Cottages begins in 1970. On a 2.2 acre, we are filled with kiawe trees and just a remote, reclusive area that was very undesirable. Look forward now, 50 years later, we are a beautiful oasis of mature gardens. We have a lot of vacation rental, 8 cottages, 3 suites for rental here, and we invite everyone from the world to come over to our place. Aloha, my name is Elena Jones, and I am one of the 8 children of David and Winona Kong here in Kihei. At the Nona Lani Cottages, my position here is more of a supervisory one, but I wear many hats here, and the main thing is that I'm at home.
My name is Valerie Kong, and I'm number 2 in the line of the Kong family down in Kihei.
Aloha, I am Sherlyn Jean Kong. I am daughter number 3 and child number 3 of David and Winona Kong.
My name is Eliza Yoshida, and I am Nona's granddaughter. My full name is actually Eliza Nona Lani Shunze Akana Yoshida, and so I was named after the Nona Lani property.
Hi, my name is Tatum.
Hi, my name is Zyla Yoshida.
We call Nona Gigima or Gigi.
Because it's our great grandma.
Hi, my name is Aisha Jones. I am one of Nona's many grandchildren, and I work here in the office.
Ovao Clifford Naiole, I am Clifford Naiole. I am Hiapo. I am the firstborn of the firstborn, the eldest cousin between this generations here.
This is Nona Lani Cottages. I'm the Nona in Nona Lani.
My father was one of 4 sons, and he is of Chinese Hawaiian descent, and my mother is of Hawaiian Chinese descent.
My grandmother left this to my father because nobody wanted to live down in Kihei in those days. It was all wooded, no neighbors.
And I think it was the 1940s, 1950s that my dad chose because he liked the ocean. He liked to go fishing, and everything about the beach was his.
The history of Nona Lani Cottages, well, it was my great idea. It was something that I thought that would be very necessary because we have a big family, and my husband didn't want me to go to work at all outside of the house. So one day I said, honey, we have this acreage here, let's do something with it. I can stay home. And he says, well, you think about it. So what do you think? I said, oh, let's plant coconut trees and we can sell the coconuts. He just looked at me and laughed, and he says, you got a second suggestion. He said, "You're out of your coconuts, honey." I said, "Well, we can knock down all these kiawe trees that were surrounded around them, and let's build some cottages, and I can still stay home." So the next thing I know, he sends me to the building director because I knew him personally. He was smart. So we had a good conversation. And so he thought it was a very unique idea. Maui needed businesses, and so that's how it got started. Then our children were getting bigger, and we needed a bigger house because we had only 3 bedrooms. And so we built this side of our property to house our growing family.
My brothers and sisters grew up here on the property. We lived in this main house that was humble beginnings of 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath. And over the years, the first 4 cottages in the front were built in 1971, and the remaining 4 garden view cottages built in 1973. And an additional wing of the downstairs suites and the upstairs family parent residential part was built in 1993. So comprised of this 2.2 acreage, now it's Nona Lani Cottages.
And all the kids were eager to participate because at that time, Kihei was really nothing much. Yeah, it was forest on that side, mango orchard on this side, and then the beach was their own beach, you know.
As a child, we cleared all the trees off of our property when we were young and built the cottages.
It's come from humble beginnings of being a home to a very prominent position here in the community as far as being a vacation rental.
When they finally meet me, "You're the Nona in Nona Lani." "How did you get Lani?" And I said, "Lani is my sister." And so I put my name together with hers, and it became Nona Lani. My husband loved it.
Nona Lani Cottages, as I am told, my mother's name is Winona, which means the first female daughter in Indian. And my grandfather named her Winona for firstborn of 10 kids. And so the name Nona is part of her name. And Lani in Hawaiian means heavenly gardens, or heavenly. And you put those 2 and 2 together and it becomes the Nona's heaven on earth.
As a child growing up, I'm being the hiapo. I'm the firstborn of the firstborn of the firstborn. And we used to come here as kids when this was all undeveloped territory, it was just sand dunes and thorny kiawe trees. But the thorns never bothered us as kids, and we just ran free through here and played. And Auntie Nona and Uncle David would be here, and they'd be smiling, they'd feed us and encourage us to play as cousins. It was a place of total enjoyment. You can run away from all your problems and come here to Nona Lani, just, as I say, rejuvenate.
Growing up here, it was never Nona Lani Cottages, it was just our home. So growing up with 7 siblings and far away from everyone else in town, we were our own friends. And good or bad, we had to learn to get along with each other.
But as kids growing up here, we learned respect for each other as cousins. We learned for respect for our kupuna, our elders. And we always went home with what is called minawaka. Minawaka is a smile. It's a smile upon your kino, your body. But most of all, it was a smile upon your pu'uvai. It was a smile upon your heart. We always wanted to come back. As soon as you left this place, Mom, when we're going back to see Cousin Colleen, when we're going back to see Cousin Ellen and Auntie Nona and Uncle David, and Uncle David would teach us about diving and fishing, and Auntie Nona would be her gracious self and feed us. And of course, discipline was always part of the growing up process as well. But it was only good times here growing up. And till today, when I come back, it brings back fond memories of what was, but it's not lost. It's still here, continued by the family that continues to manage Nona Lani Cottages.
The property was very quiet. You could hear the thundering ocean waves. You could hear a lot of birds, and you still can hear the thundering ocean waves and the birds here 50 years later. But the beauty about it is the changeover, the transition of all people that have come here and shared their background with us. And they take a bit of us with them, but definitely they leave a lot with us too.
So needless to say, we had a very close-knit family. We only had each other to play with, which makes us very, you know, close. And you could tell by being here on the property how, you know, it has this feeling of peace, and I don't know, just magic.
Growing up in the 70s here on the property, each kid had to do their house chores before we go out to play. But a benefit of being here with the tenants that were here as our returnee guests, it was beautiful to the fact that the Harveys were in number 2, the Garretts were in number 7, Auntie Renee and Uncle Vic were here, Auntie Vera was in cottage 5, and the list goes on. All 8 cottages were filled with return guests. I think that was my best part in Nona Lani, is knowing that all the return guests would come here, and every Sunday we would have a potluck. And Auntie Vera's hot cheese biscuits, Auntie Renee's casserole dish, the Garrett's salad dishes. So the best part of having a great memory of the cottages were the people that occupied the cottages in the 70s and 80s. When I grew up here, they have a real big place in my heart. Yeah.
A couple of things that I can remember is just being locked outside after breakfast with all of my cousins, and basically not being allowed to come back into the house until it was lunch, until we heard the whistle that let us know that we could come back in. The memories are endless. I think that alone, just growing up here sort of wild and free with my cousins, playing hide and go seek, you know, making sure not to break the plumeria branches on the trees because you knew Grandpa was going to have your head for that. Funny story, he was known to make the grandkids wear the plumeria branches like out. So I remember my cousin John broke one, and John had to tie the plumeria branch on a piece of rope and wear it around his neck for the rest of the day. So things like that, eating the fresh fruits off the trees, getting into mischief, crossing the road when we shouldn't be, just hours and hours of endless fun. Putting on dance parties right on the hill behind me, and my grandpa throwing quarters and dollars at us when we were kids, doing our musical acts to New Kids on the Block. I mean, just family parties, family gathering, just a lot of love, a lot of joy, a lot of laughter. For sure, my greatest memories of this place.
Nona Lani Cottages has always been this place where my brother and I got to come and play. I remember my mom singing us some lullaby about getting to go and play at Grandma's house in the morning, and that would always be something I was looking forward to. So for me, it was always this place of the most amazing park to me, where we got to play tag and hide and go seek and all of these things. So as a child, it was just very much so a place of fun and adventure for me.
I think my most favorite memories of this property is being down here in this little area. It's got the family there. There's a barbecue that my father and my brothers built, and my mom and father used to have Sunday dinners for years.
My husband loved to barbecue every Sunday. And every Sunday we had a barbecue for many, many years.
And everyone came, and all their kids came. I think that is the most memorable thing for me.
What I like about coming here is when I get to spend time with my family.
My favorite thing about coming here is seeing the sunset and spending time with my family.
I just am very close to this place, and we'll always cherish it.
That's something that I really love about Nona Lani Cottages is that you do kind of come into this little oasis tucked in the middle of a lot of upcoming developments, I'll say. And not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think to find this little gem or this little authentic piece that was created so long ago is now becoming something that's unique and very special.
I think that gives Nona Lani a special little piece of magic that it hasn't really changed, that it's been able to maintain this feeling of sacredness and specialness.
Being one of the remaining family-owned and operated companies here on the island makes it very unique for a lot of people who are searching for that type of family-oriented location to have a nice vacation and let their family run in the fields of green grass, and just to explore the gardens and to find a piece of paradise.
But I think what really is special about this place is if you can just stop, walk around the property, take in that it feels like a park, you know? It does, it feels like a park, and you get to feel like that is so part of you. The earth underneath your feet, the sand across the street at the beach, the warm ocean waters, you know? So I think people have just found this place to be the most peaceful, and I think that's what Nona Lani has to offer.
So coming to Nona Lani, you won't have a boardwalk with thousands of people walking around you. What you're going to have is peace and quiet in this place called Hawaii, our home. And again, with generosity and the caring spirit of the Ohana Kong, you see it in their smiles. You see it in their caring, in their landscaping, in their cleanliness here. One of a kind, and it's all yours. Here to enjoy here at Nona Lani Cottages.
I also think that something unique about Nona Lani Cottages is that the little cottages are all spaced out and you have kind of like your own little home away from home. And that was the slogan that I'll always remember my grandpa saying, is that Nona Lani Cottages is your home away from home. So please take care of it as though it is your home away from home. And, you know, and please do immerse yourself and really feel comfortable here, knowing that it is a space of that sort.
Nona Lani offers people a place that they can really feel like it's home, because it still is my mom's home. She still welcomes guests. She still goes out as much as she can to greet guests.
That's what makes our place a really nice place too, because we really put a lot of heart and soul into this place.
What do guests say? Well, first of all, they love it because it's quiet, it's individual, and then it's a family operation, and then we share meals together, luncheon or dinner, you know.
And those who were fortunate enough to meet my dad have come back and have missed his spirit, but have seen it in some of my brothers and sisters. Those of everyone who have engaged with my mother know of her spirit and of her giving. And it's nice to know that we're part of that family that has been in their hearts and in their space. And if you do try to come back to find us,
Pick up from where we left off. You know, that's the funny thing is I've had friends that actually from all over the place, when they come back, it's like we've never said goodbye. You know, so it's like, wow, just continue. You know, and I think that that they feel that they are welcomed.
Well, they say they're going to come back, and I said, we hope you do come back, and when you do, we hope we're still here. Yeah. And so when they do come back, it's like a teary reception and, you know, a teary goodbye, but, you know, we know that even if the years were quite distant, that they did come back, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's really heartwarming, yeah.
the people who do come here say that Nona Lani Cottages is such a magical place. It is peaceful. It allows them the time to experience what they are looking for in finding themselves, in finding a piece of Hawaiiana.
It's really a magical place. I find that a lot of our guests feel that this is paradise found, and it has a lot of history.
Someone comes here, I think what I really want is for them to feel part of themselves being reborn.
And here is where one can find themselves. They can listen to the heartbeat, sit in a place of silence and be reverent of all what Hawaii has to offer. It offers a sense of place, and what it does is, it rejuvenates the soul.
I think people find that themselves here a lot of times. You know, they're in search of something, and this place does offer that magical part of it, you know.
I would encourage people to come here if they want to really get to feel part of themselves coming to be part of the earth. I think it's a lost feeling. When we go to vacation, doesn't matter where I go, I want to feel like I'm part of the community. I want to feel like I have been able to touch something special about that place that I can take with me. I believe that's what I really want for people that are looking to come to Maui, to still experience that home feeling, that old Maui feeling that I think Nona Lani still offers.
One of the things that I would love for guests to take away from their experience at Nona Lani is that feeling of family, of that connectedness. So while you have your own little sanctuary and your own little private cottage, that you also feel like you're a part of something even greater, of bigger, of a part of our family, right? That you're embraced with the Aloha spirit that I know that my grandma and that all my aunties and cousins and family members that are here on a day-to-day basis exude and go out of their way to help perpetuate. But I would want them to feel that specialness, that connectedness, that the years, the decades now of family that has grown here on this property. And I think when you stay here, in some way, shape, or form, you get to experience that. You get to be part of the Kong family and this legacy that is the Nona Lani Cottages.
I would encourage guests to stay at Nona Lani Cottages, not only for the authentic experience that you're getting, but I feel like it's really a lot of what you're looking for. If you're looking for the ability to be able to step out and see the ocean and simultaneously be in this tropical paradise, like with the plants and everything surrounding you, this is something really special.
For me to be a part of this family, the pride is the fact that they have ha'a, which is humility, and ha'aheo, which is pride. They will adjust to make sure that everyone here is happy, and they are proud of it. And as the saying goes in Hawaii, you can walk with great pride if only you are humble. This family is very humble. They will do whatever it takes to make you happy. And at the same time, they can walk standing erect, knowing that they gave all that they could in terms of aloha.
Well, being proud of this family means that it comes with a lot of hard work. And you have to recognize that when you give of yourself, that's the only time that you will get. So you give aloha, you receive aloha. And with that, when my father instilled and my mother instilled the morals of Hawaiian morals, which is kuleana, which is their responsibility, and to be ha'aha'a, which means to be humble, and kukua, which means to be helpful. You put that all together and there's never a moment that you sit still. It's always a moment of giving. And that's what being part of this family-run business is all about. It's giving of your time and your love, because you know you're going to get that in return.
What makes me feel proud about being in this family is that we've stuck it out, thick and thin. Yeah, Nona Lani is thriving and doing well.
I mean, really, honestly, it comes down to the two people who I feel like are the epicenter of it, which are my grandma Nona and my grandpa David. You know, everything has a genesis, and they are the genesis of everything that is Nona Lani and all the generations that have come from it, and all the love that's come from it. And so I think the thing that gives me the most pride is being connected to them, to their strength, to their perseverance, to their love, to their humility. You know, my grandpa and grandma are very dynamic and different individuals, but I look at both of them and I see all the good things that we all got from them, you know, and that gives me great pride that my kids get to come to this place and be connected to these two amazing individuals that created all of this for all of us.
I haven't changed much. Although this year, my doctor told me, no more working for you. Yeah, your body has had enough work. Yeah. So now the girls run it, mostly Ellen and Mona. They're doing great.
I can honestly state that documenting 50 years of being in business, that's such an epic moment to celebrate in its time and still have my parents around to be witnessing 4 or 5 generations here on the property that have a fantastic memory of their upbringing here on the property. I don't know where it will be in the next 10, 15, 20 years. It's just my hope that for the next generation that steps into the footprints that we leave behind, that it's deep enough for them to feel that they're worthy of it. They're worthy of carrying it on, and they are strong in their position to know that we've come from a hospitality and a tourism industry, and we know how to greet the guests, and we know how to make them feel at home. It's just, how do you make yourself feel at home in being here on the Aina, the land, and of giving of yourself and your time. And my position, again, is to wear many hats, but to feel that whatever hat I'm wearing here while I'm at work, I am at home. And that's what I feel for the next generation to engage in and to accept.
So this year is our 50th year in business, and I am honored to be able to work with my grandma and my mom and my aunts and uncles, and I think that's really special to me. The more that I'm here, the more that I learn about the history of this place and about what my grandparents had created. And I think to see what my grandma visualized come into life here at Nona Lani Cottages is really amazing. And to also hear about the struggles that it takes to have a business with your partner and how to work together in that sorts, and the turbulations, but also the triumphs that they've had with their business has really been eye-opening to me, and also really inspirational to me to go on and create something that I can share with my family through generations as well.
In any family-owned and operated business, it is hard to determine how a business thrives in the future years. But where we are here and what I see for the family to enjoy is to be proud of where we've come. And it's a wonderful feeling to be part of and to give back and to pay it forward to the generations to come. And I just hope that they have that sense of belonging and the pride of knowing that Grandpa was here and he did create a legacy of knowing that he had a place here on the island history at Nona Lani Cottages.